Hey everybody, Mike Long here. I wanted to share with you what I call was a 100-day fitness case study that I did on myself. I've been doing a lot of research lately on working out and losing weight, and a lot of it was just frustrating. You get conflicting messages. But like many of you, I've been working out for a lot of years, waking up early, going to the gym, trying to eat healthy. Just to lose it for a week or two vacation, or you go home for a few days and you gain everything right back, and it's just frustrating. So I came home in January from Christmas vacation. I'm looking at my notes here, so I'll look back and forth. I came home in January and I decided that I was going to lift really, really heavy. So January, 5 months ago, lift really heavy and take a lot of protein. I wanted to build a lot of muscle and see if the fat came off with it. And I worked out really hard, took a lot of protein, and I felt like I was getting in really good shape. I felt better. And I continued to do more research because I wasn't losing the weight and I wasn't looking the way that I wanted to. And so as I did my research, like many of you, you hear eat 3 meals a day with time in between to allow yourself to digest. You'll hear eat several meals a day because then you're metabolizing all day. And so that's two conflicting messages right there. You might hear burn the fat first, put on the muscle, and lift heavy. I mean, those are conflicting things. You can't build muscle and burn fat at the same time. And so you're like, well, what do? I want to burn fat and build muscle. Eat low calories, or you need to eat a lot of calories, a lot of healthy calories to maintain everything. Eat a lot of protein but few carbs and low calories. So there's so much information that's just frustrating out there. Take your body weight in grams of protein just to maintain your current muscle mass. I don't know how I can take 200 or 200 plus grams of protein per day. I don't think I could. I could hardly get even 180, my lean muscle mass, I don't think I could get. I fought to maybe get about 120 every day. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to lose muscle mass. And the biggest one, do I work out in a fasted state? So do I go to the gym after not eating for several hours, so I'm hungry, or on a fasted or empty stomach? Or do I work out with something in my stomach so I have something to kind of give me energy? Again, things that I was like, well, I've heard both are good. What do I do? And so I always hear people say, well, it isn't worth doing that, as in eating healthy, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, going to the gym. It's not worth it. That's not my lifestyle. I couldn't do it. And so I wanted to know, well, those people obviously haven't done it. If they're saying, well, it's not worth it, well, they haven't probably done it either. And so I wanted to do it. So I decided that I would do 100 days where I would be really healthy, as healthy as I could be. But 100 days, a case study on myself, and I heard about intermittent fasting from a friend. I had seen a post on Facebook, and I was like, well, I'll look into intermittent fasting. And so I look into it, and you can eat in an 8 or 9 or 10 hour window, however you want to do it. I saw an interview with Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine, and he had called Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson about preparing for his role in Wolverine. And Dwayne Johnson said, do intermittent fasting. And you'll see interviews with Terry Crews, the same thing. He's been doing intermittent fasting for years now. So I started looking into it further, but even here you hear different things because people say, well, don't eat until noon and then eat until 10 p.m. or 8 p.m. Or eat at 8 a.m. and finish at 4 p.m. And so I didn't know what was better, and that kind of, was frustrating for me. And so eating earlier in the day or ending later in the day, I didn't know what to do. So I started watching videos and reading articles with Thomas DeLauer. And he was a big person that I started following and watching videos on, and he was promoting eating, I think it was at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So you don't eat anything until 1 p.m. and you stop eating at about 9 or 10 p.m. So you stop eating at 10, you go to bed, and you don't eat until lunchtime. And so I'm thinking, well, I have school and I have to work out in the morning. My routine allows me time in the morning to work out. I can't do it at night, and I don't want to. I'm too lazy at night. I don't want to do it. But I don't know if I want to work out in a fasted state, because if I stop eating at even 6 p.m. like Hugh Jackman, and that's what he did. Hugh Jackman did 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., an 8-hour window where you eat, a 16-hour window where you don't eat anything. You can drink water, but you can't have anything else. I then watched interviews and videos with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she works with Dr. Sachin Panda, and you can look up videos with them. But Rhonda Patrick did an interview with Joe Rogan, and she was talking about intermittent fasting and their research that they've done on mice and what they've seen, and she does it. This is a woman. I had heard it was bad for women to do, or not bad, but they said I don't know the benefits for women compared to men. Dr. Patrick does intermittent fasting, and she said that the results that they had were the best at 9-hour windows. The endurance of the mice was at peak level. They also found that if you ate the same meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you metabolize it much quicker and much easier in the morning compared to the same meal at night. So you burn, and you're more efficient at burning calories earlier in the day, later in the day. And she said after about 10 hours, your body isn't very effective at burning calories anymore. And so anything you eat after that 10-hour window, like most of us do when we're at home watching TV, isn't metabolized very well. It becomes fat, and that's where we put on a lot of our weight. Dr. Sachin Panda also talks about a superchiasmatic nucleus, I think he called it. Just basically eating when it's daytime, eating when it's light outside. And you can watch his videos, they talk a lot about it, but it was all research based, which I liked. So again, I decided to do this 100-day case study, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if it's worth it. I just wanted someone to say, yeah, look, it's hard, but it's worth it. And I couldn't find videos like that. So I said, well, I'm going to do my own case study and tell people whether it's worth it or not. So I decided to combine all the research that I had done about intermittent fasting along with what I had seen from me in the past that had helped me lose weight. And I was going to eat really, really healthy and just kind of do what I've seen other people do, what's worked for me, and do it for 100 days and see what happened. You can look at my pictures. Some of you will say, well, the picture was different. I know my wife took the first picture of me, and she's out of town. And so I had to take the second picture of myself, obviously. But they are only 75 days apart. My 90-day window, my 100-day time frame ends July 4th. So I have a little bit left. And I also took that before, well, I took that before picture, obviously right at day 1. But the other thing I did is I got an in-body scan because I wanted to know if by the numbers with quantifiable data, if I had lost weight, if I had gained muscle. That way I knew it. I mean, there was no subjective information. It was all, this is what it is. It's all objective. Something a little more reliable. So I got my in-body scan. I weighed myself, and this was 2 weeks after I had already been intermittent fasting, and I had already lost, I think I looked, because I took a journal here with all the weight that I had been losing. As soon as I started intermittent fasting, 2 pounds a week. I was losing 2 pounds a week every week. There was a few times where we went out of town. There was one time where I gained 2 pounds, but my family was here for a week, and we had gone to Cheesecake Factory the week before they got there. But other than that, if I was on my routine, I was working out, I was intermittent fasting, I lost 2 pounds every week for however many weeks that was. And I'm still in it, obviously. I ate very low calories. So in my in-body scan, my personal trainer, she told me, she's like, make sure you eat whatever my BMR was, which was 2131. Make sure you eat at least that many calories, or else you're going to lose muscle mass. And again, this is where I started looking into the protein count. So so I just ate low calories. I wanted to do it where it would be doable for another person. So I would eat at 10 a.m. and I would have a meal replacement shake. Really easy. I could do it at school. I drank a meal replacement shake at 10. I would come home at lunch. I would have egg burritos, or sometimes I would do like a protein shake. And then during the afternoon, I would have vegetables and celery with peanut butter or carrots. And for dinner, I would either do a spinach smoothie, depending on if I ate at lunchtime. And if I drank a smoothie at lunchtime, I would eat vegetables and chicken for dinner. So I really only ate one meal throughout the day. And the first few days was really hard. I was just hungry and I wanted food. But again, I was done at 6 p.m. and I didn't eat until 10 a.m. the next morning. So I go from 6 p.m., my last meal, and I worked out every day at about 5:30 or 6 a.m. And I would work out for an hour and I would lift really, really heavy. And so I thought, man, I'm going to pass out. And I know that most of you will think that same thing. If I didn't eat for 12 hours and then I went to the gym, I'm going to pass out. But I was over 200 pounds. I mean, I'm about 200, 205 right now. And I still do it. And, you know, I was heavier than this before I started, but I'll go 12 hours and I feel energized. I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. I never really had a lightheaded feeling. And after I work out for an hour from 6 to 7 a.m., I still don't eat anything until 10 a.m. And at 10 a.m., I'm only taking a meal replacement shake. But I was never hungry. I never really felt hungry. And then at lunchtime, sometimes I would just have, you know, maybe a protein bar and then another meal replacement shake. And then maybe some celery and things kind of after that a little bit. But I just wanted to eat healthy and make it doable. I didn't want to make it a crazy concoction of something that people couldn't replicate, because if you can't replicate it, you're not going to keep it and it's not going to be worth it for you. So everything I did, I bought meal replacement shakes for $1 each. I think they were 90 cents per bottle at Walmart. Meal replacement shake. I supplemented one protein shake that had 25 grams of protein in it every day whenever I wanted to. And I would eat a protein bar that I got from Costco, and they had 20 grams of protein in it or something, and I would eat that in the afternoon, and then I would eat chicken. I didn't count calories. I didn't count my protein. I tried to take as much protein as I could. I don't think I ever got above 120 grams of protein, because it's hard. It's hard to get that much protein and not eat too many calories. And even if you're not counting calories, it's hard to get even your own lean muscle mass worth of grams of protein, which for me would be 180. I just don't think I could do it. I can't eat that much. In any case, so I did the 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week. I gave myself 10% of my meals. So if I eat 3 meals a day for 7 days a week, 10% of that, so that's 21 meals, 10%, 2.1. So I'm like, okay, well, 2 meals I'll eat, 1 cheat meal. You know, I'll have 1 cheat meal, and 1 meal, which I usually did on Sunday, was a bigger meal. You know, my wife and I would have dinner with friends or with each other, and we would just eat a bigger meal, usually Mexican food. But no sugar or anything. But on Friday or Saturday for our cheat meal, I would just adapt it if we were hanging out with friends. And I ate brownies and pizza usually every week, and it was amazing. So I had that stuff that I enjoyed, and I just planned my cheat meal around when we were hanging out. So it was really easy to do. During the week, I didn't have it. Let's see. So I worked out at 6 a.m. every day. I lifted really heavy, and I also did cardio. Never felt lightheaded, except at the beginning. You would feel lightheaded at the beginning, the first few days, just because you want food and you're hungry and your body's adapting to it. I worked out in a fasted state, so I would go from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. not eating anything, and then I would work out really, really hard at that 6 a.m. time frame, and then I still wouldn't take anything, not protein, not anything. I would drink water, but I wouldn't take anything for another 4 hours or 3 or 4 hours after that. Sometimes I wouldn't eat till 11. Other times I'd, drink something at 9:30 if I felt lightheaded, or if I just worked out with, I had a break in class or something. I did my first body scan 2 weeks into intermittent fasting. I did my last one on June 22nd, so just a few days ago. So again, only a 75-day time frame, not a full 100. I still have a little bit left, and I took the scan 2 days into it. I will give you the results here. You can obviously see, so this is my first in-body scan, and then here is my second one. So all by the numbers. You can look at my pictures, obviously. The after ones I'm very pleased with, and they're not exceptional in any way. They're fairly normal. I mean, I could have definitely been more strict with my diet, absolutely. But I didn't want to do it because most people just can't be that strict in order to achieve this amazing body. So I just did something that was easy. Got meal replacement shakes, took protein, ate chicken, vegetables, fruit, just tried to be really healthy, and I did that intermittent fasting, and I did it for 100 days. So the results of my in-body scan, spoiler alert, I did not gain any muscle, but I did not lose any muscle either. So I was only eating, I mean, I may have been eating anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day, usually on the low end of that, probably 1,600 to 1,700 calories a day. But I was never hungry because I eat in such a small window. I felt fine. But I didn't gain any muscle. But if you look at the numbers, marginally I go up, you know, each arm, because they measure each arm. Each arm went up, you know, 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 you know, pounds of muscle. Each leg went up, same thing, you know, 0.1 or 0.2 pounds of muscle. So not a huge gain, if any. But my total lean body mass stayed exactly the same at 180. They're identical. If you look at the numbers, they're identical. But I lost 10 pounds in that time frame of the scan. So if I didn't lose any muscle, I lost 10 pounds of fat. Now, if you look at the pictures again, how I feel and how I look, just looking at the pictures or looking in the mirror, I feel a lot bigger, but technically I don't really have much more muscle at all. I just lost fat, so I look a lot bigger, which I had heard in a video someone say, lose fat, you'll look bigger. And I'm like, well, I don't believe that. I think I'll just be a smaller version of myself. But numbers show I didn't gain any muscle. I lost 10 pounds of fat, and I look much bigger. I look much more defined and much bigger. Let's see. So I weighed every Monday morning, and again, I consistently lost 2 pounds a week. There were a few occasions where I would stay the same weight, or a few, because that's why, I mean, it's been, what, 11 or 12 weeks now. But I only lost 10 pounds, but that's because some weeks, again, I gained, or I would stay the same. If people came over and I had a massive meal on Saturday, and then Monday it didn't, you know, it wasn't a true weigh-in yet. So the intracellular and extracellular water weight, I was like, well, what if in one picture I had, or one scan I had a lot of water weight, and the other one I didn't? I look, and my intracellular and extracellular numbers are literally identical. Both of them, so my hydration level was equal at my first scan and my second. So everything is lost in fat. So my body fat mass in pounds, the first time I took my scan was 33.3, and the second time I took it was 24 pounds. So I had lost just about 10 pounds there. Those are the numbers that I got. And again, the muscle I gained was marginal, but I didn't lose muscle mass, which I had heard I would if I ate too few calories. And I was worried about not being able to, I didn't want to lose muscle. But people said if you don't eat enough, you're going to. But I also heard that if you work out really heavy, try to take as much protein as you can. Again, I just took a protein shake during the day. If you supplement with protein a little bit, eat healthy, and lift heavy weight, which everyone should do. Again, everybody should lift heavy weight. I lifted heavy weight, and I didn't lose any muscle. I lost fat. So now I'll do another 100-day case study, and I'll try to gain muscle as well. But the biggest thing to me is so I'll give you my results. I cut my visceral fat, or the fat, around my organs and in the core of my body, around my stomach. It went from an already healthy level of 7. So it has to be 10 or below to be healthy, and I had a 7. I dropped that down to a 4. So I dropped it about in half. I lost a pound of fat in each arm, and a pound of fat in each leg, and 6 pounds around my stomach. They measure out each limb, and they measure out your body and your core, so you know exactly what you're losing and gaining. And that's what I did. I lost a pound in each extremity and 6 pounds around my stomach. And my body fat went from 33.3 to 24 pounds. But the best and biggest number to me is I started, and again, this was 2 weeks into my intermittent fasting time frame. I had already lost probably 6 pounds, because early on I was able to lose a lot quicker in 2 weeks. And I was at 15.6% body fat when I took my first scan, again, after already losing 2 weeks worth of fat. But at that time, 15.6, and I dropped to 11.6. So I dropped 4 percentage points in 75 days, which was huge for me. I'm almost to that 10% body fat range. I think with an extra 25 days, I could probably get there. If I were to count the first 2 weeks, that was probably, if you do the math, I probably was another point or two higher. So what I'm saying is, in that 75 day time frame, I dropped my body fat percentage significantly. My main concern is when I first started looking into videos, I wanted someone to say, yes, it is worth it. Wake up at 5 in the morning and do your workout. Eat really healthy. You're not going to miss out on anything. And that's what I found out. I did not miss out on any party. If our friends had pizza, if they had brownies, I just planned it around my cheat meal to eat when they had the party. And I will say I did cheat one time because our teacher brought the most amazing donuts to school that you'll ever have in your life. They were like gourmet donuts. And I had, you won't believe me, but I had 8. Now you might be thinking, Mike, you'll throw up if you eat 8 donuts. Challenge accepted, and I did not throw up. I enjoyed every bite. So I did mess up a few times, but not a lot. I tried to stay as strict as I could, but those donuts were amazing. And again, it didn't. If you look at the week, I still dropped 2 pounds that week, and that's what I encourage you to watch Dr. Rhonda Patrick talk about how it benefits the mice that they research, because they say they gain more muscle, they lose more fat, they have more endurance, and they can take 2 days off. The mice will take 2 days off over the weekend, or just 2 days off that they give to the mice to eat kind of more normally. And there's no significant downfall to it, which is good for us because we have a weekend and Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, where we want to go out and enjoy ourselves. So intermittent fasting has worked really, really well for me, and it's extremely easy, and it's absolutely worth it. Is it worth it to wake up earlier? Yeah. Is it worth it to eat healthier? Absolutely. I feel 100 times better, and every time I went to the gym, I tried to do whatever made me feel uncomfortable so I could feel comfortable outside of the gym. I'd walk around and I felt like I was okay, but as soon as pictures were taken or I'm going to go swimming, I'm just like, man, I need to look better. I know I can look better. And so 5:15 became the time that I was waking up, whether I wanted to or not, whether I had only had 4 hours of sleep, whether I had a final the next day. I was waking up at 5:15, and I was going to work out for an hour, and I was going to do whatever I didn't want to do. I worked out really heavy. And the other thing I wanted to tell everybody is I didn't do the same thing the whole way through the 100-day case study. I learned things as I went on. 3 weeks ago, I changed from an upper body on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and lower body on Tuesday, Thursday. I changed 3 weeks ago to a push-pull leg split. So I do all my push muscles on one day, my pull on the next, and leg on the next day. And then on Saturday, I would run. And I started running. I do 6 miles. And I try to do it as fast as I can. And then on Wednesdays, when I have my leg day, I do really heavy weight, doing all legs, and then I try to do cardio and sprint jog for about 3 miles. It's very, very easy to do. I didn't do anything that would break the bank. I'm a student, and so I wanted it to be financially worth it. I made every party. I ate all the food I wanted to. So I didn't miss out on anything. I didn't feel like, oh, well, it's not worth it. I won't be able to enjoy myself, which I know a lot of people say because I did. Very easy to do, definitely worth it. And my challenge to everyone out there, if you made it through this 23-minute video, I tried to do it really fast because I know people don't have the time to watch a 20-minute video. I appreciate it if you did. But the reason I did it was to help people out there that were questioning, well, what do I do? Well, I recommend intermittent fasting on whatever type of diet you want to do. It works. It's worked for me. Look at my pictures. I know that they aren't the perfect, what you think of what you want to be. They're not the perfect body. But it worked really well for me. It was extremely easy. It worked right into my lifestyle. And I could alter it a little bit, and it wasn't exactly perfect, but it's very easy to do. I encourage you to do it. And my challenge to you, if you are watching this video, 100 days from July 4th is October 12th. Now, the holidays don't really start until Halloween. So you can start on, a week after July 4th or whatever you want to do. But I encourage you to do the same thing. Do whatever's going to work for you. But try to do intermittent fasting. Try to work out in the morning, work out in a fasted state, eat really healthy, and do it for 100 days. Again, 100 days will take you to before Halloween, so you're not going to miss out on any holiday. And then you can tell yourself, yeah, it's worth it, I'm going to keep doing it, or no, I'm going to change my lifestyle. Intermittent fasting has become a lifestyle for me, really easy to do. I encourage you to do it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll answer back when I can. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, I'm open. I know this is kind of putting myself out there, but I hope it helps the people that are questioning what I should do to lose weight. What should I do to get healthy again? And I will tell you, it's suck it up and wake up early. Work out really hard. Work out in the morning. And if you have to work out at night, that's fine too. But work out in a fasted state if you can. Work out early in the morning and work out really, really hard and do it for 100 days. You can do anything for 100 days. Just prove it to yourself. Thank you.